Imagine a world where the narrative of human origins you've been told is a carefully constructed lie. What if humanity's story begins not with clay molded by divine hands, but with beings of pure light, entities untethered by the constraints of the physical world? These beings, described in banned texts like the Gospel of Philip and Book of Enoch, radiated wisdom and divine essence. They were not formed from dust, but crafted from the very substance of divinity itself. Existing in harmony with the celestial, they knew no suffering, hunger, or pain. Their presence alone was a testament to divine glory. Yet, this luminous existence was not to last. Why were these beings, whose lives symbolized freedom and divine connection, erased from history? The answer lies in a conspiracy older than recorded time. The luminous beings were an extension of divine energy, unbounded and free. These creatures possessed gnosis knowledge of the divine innately. They needed no intermediaries, no priests or temples. Their very being was a form of worship, a direct connection to the source of all creation. But this unmediated connection posed a threat. Systems of control, religious, societal, and political, found their foundations shaken by the existence of beings who required no rulers or gatekeepers to understand the cosmos. Over time, their story was suppressed, their nature hidden, and their significance diminished. The luminous beings were erased from collective memory, and humanity was offered a simplified, controlled narrative. As the luminous beings faded into obscurity, a different narrative emerged. The story we know today, of humans created from clay and bound to the earth, took its place. Gnostic texts reveal this alternate tale. These writings speak of the demiurge, a lesser god jealous, controlling, and flawed, who shaped humanity, not out of divine love, but to serve his own agenda. Unlike the beings of light, these earthbound humans were made to toil, to be manipulated and controlled. The demiurge imbued them with physical form, desires, and limitations, designed to bind them to the material world. These earthbound humans, unaware of their divine spark, became obedient followers, incapable of comprehending their true origins. The demiurge, far from the benevolent creator of mainstream religious teachings, is described in Gnostic texts as a being of illusion. He and his archons, a collective of cosmic gatekeepers, established systems to keep humanity confined. They wove a web of distractions, desires, fears, and societal structures designed to divert attention from spiritual truths. These systems ensured that humans remained focused on survival, ambition, and material wealth, never looking inward to discover their true essence. The archons were not just spiritual entities, but active forces influencing thought, belief, and perception, perpetuating the illusion of a physical-only existence. Their agenda was simple: control. While the earthbound humans lived constrained by physical and mental barriers, another type of human emerged: beings of fire. Ancient Persian and esoteric texts describe these individuals as carriers of an intense, transformative energy. They were neither purely spiritual like the light beings, nor entirely material like the earthbound humans. Instead, they embodied a unique blend of both realms. These fireborn humans were creators and destroyers, visionaries who refused to accept the status quo. They challenged the demiurge's control and sought to reshape the systems that confined humanity. Their fiery essence made them both a threat and a promise of liberation. The Fireborn were the rebels of their time, disrupting the demiurge's carefully crafted order. They were the ones who asked questions others feared, who sought knowledge hidden in forbidden texts, and who defied authority to create paths toward freedom. History remembers them as revolutionaries, thinkers, and visionaries, but in the records of the demiurge's systems, they were branded as outcasts, heretics, and dangers to society. Their legacy survives not in the mainstream, but in whispers, myths, and fragmented texts that hint at their fiery defiance and transformative power. Beneath the demiurge's illusion, the truth of humanity's origins persisted in secret. The Neogenian doctrine, an ancient ideology, described the tripartite nature of humans: light beings, earthbound humans, and fireborn rebels. This knowledge was considered dangerous because it empowered individuals to understand their divine potential. Institutions built on control could not tolerate such empowerment. Thus, the doctrine was systematically erased, its texts destroyed, and its followers silenced. Yet fragments survived, carried forward by mystics who risked everything to preserve these truths for future generations. The Demiurge's greatest strength was the illusion of a singular, uniform humanity. By convincing humans that they were all the same, weak, mortal, and in need of salvation, he maintained control. But the Neogenian doctrine revealed a deeper truth. Humanity was diverse, multifaceted, and filled with different potentials. Some were drawn to the light, seeking knowledge and spiritual connection. Others were earthbound, finding purpose in structure and stability. And then there were the fireborn, restless creators and disruptors. This diversity was humanity's greatest strength, and the Demiurge sought to suppress it. The systems of control imposed by the Demiurge were not limited to physical labor or material constraints. They infiltrated the very fabric of human thought, creating religions, hierarchies, and societal norms that reinforced obedience. Fear was their most potent weapon. Fear of the unknown, fear of divine wrath, and fear of straying from the prescribed path. These systems ensured that humanity's gaze remained outward toward rituals, leaders, and institutions rather than inward, where the true essence of light and fire resided. Ancient mystics who sought to unveil these truths were labeled as heretics and persecuted. But their teachings persisted, often hidden in plain sight, encoded in symbols, metaphors, and myths. Among the mystics who preserved the Neogenian doctrine were the keepers of secret schools and esoteric traditions. These groups, scattered across time and cultures, saw themselves as guardians of humanity's forgotten origins. They believed that within every person lay the potential to rediscover their true essence. They taught that light beings still walked among us, hidden under layers of physical existence. Fireborn rebels were said to be catalysts for change, igniting revolutions in both thought and action. The earthbound, while seemingly trapped, held the power to transcend their limitations by seeking gnosis. These teachings emphasized that awakening was possible for all, but it required courage, introspection, and a rejection of the illusions imposed by the Demiurge. The mystics also warned of the archons, the Demiurge's enforcers, who worked tirelessly to maintain the illusion. These entities were described as masters of deception, able to manipulate human perception and sow discord. They thrived on fear, ignorance, and conflict, feeding on the energies of those trapped in their illusions. The archons ensured that humanity remained divided by race, religion, class, and countless other constructs, so that the collective power of the light beings, earthbound humans, and fireborn rebels could never unite against their control. The mystics taught that recognizing and resisting the archon's influence was the first step toward liberation. The earthbound humans, though the most confined by the Demiurge's design, held a unique potential. While they were created to be docile and obedient, they also carried within them a fragment of the divine spark, a trace of the light being's essence. This spark, though buried deep, could be awakened through gnosis. However, the awakening process was fraught with challenges. It required individuals to confront the illusions they had accepted as reality, to question authority, and to embark on a journey of self-discovery. For many, this journey began with a simple yet profound realization that the world as they knew it was a construct designed to distract and confine them. Fireborn humans, on the other hand, were less likely to accept the Demiurge's constraints. Their nature was inherently rebellious, driven by an insatiable desire to create, explore, and challenge. They often found themselves at odds with societal norms, their fiery energy unsettling those around them. Yet, it was this very energy that made them catalysts for transformation. Throughout history, fireborn individuals have ignited movements that reshape the world, challenging oppressive systems and inspiring others to awaken. They were not always celebrated in their time, often misunderstood and vilified, but their impact endured, sparking revolutions that brought humanity closer to its true potential. The luminous beings, though diminished in number, never completely disappeared. Legends across cultures speak of radiant figures who appeared in times of great need, guiding humanity toward enlightenment. These beings, often mistaken for angels or divine messengers, sought to remind humanity of its origins and potential. They did not interfere directly, but offered wisdom and inspiration to those willing to listen. In some traditions, they are said to have established sanctuaries of light, hidden places where the truth of humanity's origins could be preserved and passed down. These sanctuaries, guarded by initiates, remain a source of hope and knowledge for those seeking the path to awakening. As the mystics continued their work in secret, they realized that the greatest challenge was not the demiurge or the archons, but humanity's reluctance to awaken. The illusions were comforting, offering a sense of order and purpose. Awakening required individuals to embrace uncertainty, to question deeply held beliefs, and to face the possibility that much of what they had been taught was false. It was a daunting prospect, and many chose to remain within the confines of the illusion. Yet the mystics persisted, believing that even the smallest spark of awareness could ignite a transformative fire within the collective consciousness. Despite the suppression of their knowledge, the mystics left clues for future generations. These clues were embedded in myths, art, and ancient rituals. In plain sight, yet disguised, they wove a tapestry of symbols that pointed toward humanity's hidden origins. The pyramids, the ziggurats, the labyrinths of ancient Greece, all of these structures held deeper meanings. Each angle, line, and story carried whispers of the luminous beings, earthbound humans, and fireborn rebels. These symbols were designed to awaken those ready to see beyond the surface, but they also served as a warning. If humanity failed to recognize its divine essence, it would remain trapped in the illusions of the demiurge's design, enslaved not by chains but by its own ignorance. The demiurge's grip tightened as humanity advanced. He adapted his strategies, weaving illusions that evolved with human understanding. In modern times, the web of control became even more intricate. Materialism, consumerism, and digital distractions took the place of temples and dogmas. People became consumed by the pursuit of wealth, status, and technology, oblivious to the deeper truths of their existence. The archons thrived in this environment, feeding off the energy of unfulfilled desires and fostering divisions among humanity. The mystics warned that the world had become a prison so finely constructed that few even realized they were confined. The challenge of awakening had never been greater. Yet, even in the face of such overwhelming control, there were those who resisted. Fireborn rebels continued to rise, their defiance igniting movements for change. They were writers, thinkers, artists, and activist individuals who refused to accept the status quo. Their work often came at great personal cost, but they planted seeds of awareness in those who encountered their ideas. The mystics believed that these individuals were guided by the remnants of the luminous beings, whose essence persisted in the collective consciousness. Though the fireborn often walked a lonely path, their influence was undeniable, and their presence signaled the possibility of liberation. One of the most profound teachings of the mystics was the idea of unity in diversity. They emphasized that the light beings, earthbound humans, and fireborn rebels each had a role to play in humanity's awakening. The light beings provided wisdom and spiritual guidance. The earthbound humans grounded societies in stability, and the fireborn rebels drove progress and transformation. It was only by embracing these differences that humanity could hope to overcome the demiurge's illusions. The mystics envisioned a world where these three types worked together, creating a harmonious balance that would empower individuals and communities alike. The journey toward awakening was not a single event, but a lifelong process. It began with questioning the world around you, challenging the systems, beliefs, and assumptions that shaped your reality. From there, individuals were urged to turn inward, exploring the depths of their own consciousness. This introspection often led to uncomfortable truths, as illusions were stripped away to reveal the essence beneath. The mystics taught that this process, though difficult, was the only path to true freedom. It was a journey of rediscovery, where individuals reclaimed their divine spark and began to live authentically, unshackled by the constraints of the Demiurge's world. Those who awakened often faced resistance from the world around them. The systems of control, designed to suppress gnosis, labeled them as outcasts or threats. Friends and family, still bound by the illusions, struggled to understand their transformation. But the mystics had prepared for this. They taught that awakening was not about convincing others, but about embodying the truth. By living authentically and fearlessly, the awakened could inspire others to begin their own journeys. The mystics believed that awakening was a ripple effect. A single individual's transformation could spark a wave of change that would eventually challenge the Demiurge's entire construct. As humanity awakened, the Demiurge's illusions began to falter. The systems of control, which had seemed unshakable, started to crack under the weight of collective awareness. People questioned the narratives they had been taught, seeking out forgotten knowledge and alternative perspectives. The mystics' teachings, once hidden in the shadows, emerged into the light. Ancient texts were rediscovered, their messages resonating with a new generation. The Demiurge and his archons fought back, amplifying distractions and divisions, but the tide had begun to turn. Humanity was no longer content to live in ignorance. The luminous beings, once thought to have vanished, revealed themselves in subtle ways. They appeared as moments of insight, bursts of creativity, and acts of compassion. Their essence, scattered across humanity, began to coalesce as more individuals embraced their true nature. Fireborn rebels continued to ignite change, while the earthbound rediscovered their potential to ground and support these transformations. Together, these forces began to reshape the world, creating a reality where the Demiurge's illusions could no longer hold sway. The mystics described this as the Great Reawakening, a return to the balance and harmony that had existed before the fall. The final confrontation between humanity and the Demiurge was not a battle in the traditional sense. It was a clash of consciousness, a rejection of fear, division, and control in favor of unity, awareness, and freedom. As the Demiurge's illusions crumbled, his power diminished. The archons, no longer able to feed on humanity's ignorance, retreated into obscurity. This victory was not the work of a single individual or group, but the result of countless acts of courage, defiance, and awakening. Humanity stood at the threshold of a new era, ready to reclaim its divine heritage. In this new era, the teachings of the Neogenian doctrine became the foundation for a reimagined society. The idea of unity in diversity was embraced, allowing individuals to honor their unique origins while working together toward common goals. Light beings guided spiritual pursuits, earthbound humans anchored progress, and fireborn rebels ensured that systems remained dynamic and just. This balance created a world where humanity could thrive, not as a uniform mass, but as a vibrant tapestry of interconnected souls. The lessons of the past were not forgotten, but used as a guide to prevent future illusions.